What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite channel. We've got a wonderful video for you today. We are going to be looking at two very attractive aerospace slash space innovation slash defense ETFs going pound for pound. Uh, Two very different ETFs, although they're in the same sector, and we'll get into that. But let's go ahead and just run some quick comparisons here to determine which might be best for you, which one appeals to you more, but you also need to consider how much diversification you are comfortable with, and also, I guess, overall performance in a given amount of time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. I need a haircut. So looking at ticker symbol ARKX, that one is $30.32. That one is in that ETF. The performance this year is 4.62%, so it's beating the overall S&P 500, which is great so far. The 3-year performance is 116.57%, which is fantastic. The 5-year performance is at a 45%, which is not bad. The ARK Innovation ETF is holding 33 different tickers, funds, stocks. The assets under management are $731 million with 1 million shares traded on average, which is pretty good in terms of volatility and liquidity. They do have an expense ratio of 0.75%, but they do not pay a dividend, which is interesting. And then the top 3 tags that ARK Innovation does have is global, space exploration, and innovation. Kathy Woods, if you guys are aware, is all about that innovation, including deer, but we'll look at the ticker symbol D in a minute. But looking at ticker symbol SHLD, that is SHIELD ETF, they are at $73.96 per share. The performance year to date is at a 14.15%, which is fantastic. Looking back the last 2 years, the stock is up over 200%, which is amazing. We do not have a 3-year performance yet, but it is outperforming the ARK Innovation, which is good. And then 5 years, we don't have enough data for that yet. It'll be a couple more years. There are quite a bit more holdings in the SHIELD ETF as well. The assets under management are 8.4 billion, more than 10 times the ARK Innovation, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because ARK Innovation has been around a bit longer than SHIELD. So take that into consideration. The average volume for the SHIELD ETF is 2.25 million, so plenty of liquidity there. They do have an expense ratio of 0.5% and a dividend of 0.36%. The top 3 tags for SHIELD are global, cybersecurity, and robotics. Now, let's go ahead and move on to our next slide here. I'm going to have to shrink my beautiful head, so give me un momento. Okay. ARK Innovation, we can see that their top holding at 9.54%, which is pretty crazy, is L3Harris Technologies. Number 2 is Rocket Lab at 7.2%, which is kind of crazy. Just given the amount of weighting these 2 companies have, is about 16%. And then looking at number 3 in the top 10 is Teradyne Inc. at 6.88%. And then Deere, I did not see that one coming. That is, think of your farm and construction company. When I think of Deere, I do not think of them as aerospace innovation. So that one's a little bit lost on me. We also have Kratos Defense and Security, KTOS, at a 6.24%. And then the next one we have is Aero Environment Inc. at a 5.21% holding there. These top 10 holdings are adding up. We also have AMD, which is very popular, 4.7%. Trimble at a 3.94%. And then we got Archer Aviation coming at 3.73%. And then one that I thought would have been a little bit higher was Palantir at 3.46%. So the top 10% holdings make up 57.16%, which is wild. And looking at our holdings breakdown here, you can see that 64% of this portfolio ETF is electronic technology, with the lowest stocks accounted for at 1.5% for health services, which I thought was very, very interesting. Moving on over to Shield, that is Global X Defense ETF. The first company we've got here is Lockheed Martin at 9%, which is pretty crazy. Next is RTX Corp, 7.7%. Then we got General Dynamics at a 7.37%, which is pretty great. Then we've got Rain Metal AG. That's an OTC ticker symbol. So if you want to trade that one, you'll need a special brokerage, potentially Robinhood. But if not Robinhood, you could do actually, I don't even think Vanguard allows OTC tickers anymore unless they meet a certain threshold. So you might need to do some research on where you would want to invest into RNMBY if you want to do that individually. Palantir at a 6%, 6.1%, which is great. Next, we've got BAESY, which is BAE Systems, C. Again, that's an OTC ticker. Robinhood may have it. If not, check another brokerage. Then we've got LHX, which is L3 Harris, and then Northrop Grumman at 4.83. And then this ticker is a, I believe, Chinese Hong Kong ticker. So the identifier for that is 012450. That is at 4.62%. And the last ticker we do have here is Leonardo SPA. That is an OTC ticker as well at 4.6%. And those top 10 holdings make up 60%. And if you are like me, you are probably recognizing the large amount of holdings in electronic technology, which does explain why Shield has been doing very well. However, if electronic technology does take a hit, I would expect Shield to be pretty impacted. We don't see any financials, we don't see any healthcare. So if you're looking for a true defense ETF, this one might be for you. It's got quite a bit more holdings as well, which does allow for more diversification. Also, again, the top 10 companies hold 60%. So that would mean the remaining 55, 45 hold only 40%. So just things to consider. Now we're going to be looking at institutional ownership here. So looking at the ARK Innovation ETF, you can see there was interest at the beginning of this ETF. Then it kind of flattened and then it picked back up. It appears to be growing at the moment, but we really don't know how this is going to shake out here. We're going to look at charts here pretty soon. And I think there might be some disappointment with some shareholders because this stock is trading at levels that we were seeing pre-Iran Middle East turmoil. So just something to consider here. And then looking at Shields, this just appears to be a little rocket ship, pun intended. I mean, it's just been growing exponentially. No real reason. I mean, this thing's been around almost coming on 3 years. It's growing nicely and it's been doing very, very well over the past 2 years pre-Middle East. So this one, in my opinion, does pique my interest just a little bit more. Number one, for the diversification. Number two, I do like that Palantir is a little bit higher in weight. And then number three, institutions appear to be loving this one. Looking at our daily charts here, I did mention that ARK Innovation ETF is trading almost near the pre-Middle East lows, which for some shareholders might be a little bit disappointing. So I'm not sure. I mean, it appears that ARK Innovation ETF is more innovation and not defense, although it is labeled as defense. The stock is currently failing the SMAs with the 200 SMA to be tapped next around the $29 level. So that is something to watch. Looking at our weekly chart for ARK Innovation actually looks very attractive. This last candle was extremely bullish right there. My head's not blocking it. So this looks very good here in terms of a setup moving forward. And then our monthly chart just appears to be a very beautiful cup and handle. Might be getting ready for another cup and handle. You guys can't see my mouse. Right here, we're getting a pullback. So we've got the cup, handle, rocket. And then now if we look here, left side of the cup, right side of the cup, handle potentially, and then moving up. So there is some hope for ARK Innovation, and it has been consolidating here for the past like 6-7 months. So this does look nice. Moving on over to the SHLD ETF. Looking at our daily chart here, it's just kind of been a beast. We do got a very important area to consider right here at the $66, $67 level. Gap needs to be filled here. And if you go back on the chart, you can see that all gaps have been filled. So I believe this one will be no exception. So I do expect a little bit of move down. And then potentially finding some support on the 200 SMA. Moving to our weekly chart here. Again, it just looks attractive as well. It's looking a little bit overextended in my opinion. The stock is testing the 20 SMA. You can see the stock has a history of testing the 20 SMA here, bouncing up, testing here, bouncing up, testing here, falling through, and then shooting back up, testing here. So this thing is trading extremely, extremely volatile. So keep that in mind. What goes up must come down. I'm not saying this is going to come down, but this stock, this ETF is not as diverse, or it is diversified, but it's not as diversified in other sectors. So looking at our monthly chart here, again, it just looks like a rocket ship. It's taken off. Definitely looking overextended in my opinion, but I don't see really a trigger to move this one down just yet. So keep that in mind. It just looks insane. Looking at my thesis for the ARK Innovation ETF. So the 3 levels of support are all really going to be in this, where's my mouse? This range right here within this Fibonacci arc. I think anything within this range is going to be healthy in terms of a consolidation and a move up. And then the resistance is obviously going to be this line here. We've got our channel, which has been identified for the last couple of years here. And then watching out for these Fibonacci arcs as well, as it does look to break out. We saw some pretty amazing respect of the candles to the Fibonacci arcs. 10 out of 10 kiss off support there. Great support there. Beautiful support there. Fell through, almost tapped here. Move up. So the Japanese candlesticks are reacting positively to the Fibonacci arcs. So I do expect some resistance, my mouse, within these arcs and support as we do move forward. The area to watch is actually this month. If this ETF can break up through this downtrend, I think there's a high chance we do see our resistance at 35.53 being tapped. Sorry, not 35.53, 34, right there. And then the area to watch as the apex is going to be this area where resistance and support converge. So potentially a nice downtrend here and then consolidation potentially, and then a move up. But I'm watching for a move up this month. Everyone's different. I don't think I would take a position in ARK Innovation at the moment. But maybe if it goes down even further, it might be consideration. Looking at SHLD, not too much data to go off of. So what we can see is this trades very well in channels, and this is on the weekly chart here. We are sitting wonderfully here on support. I mean, we just need to see something collapse from this ticker. Really, I think it's just been too hot. The area to watch is going to be that gap fill around 69, which we can see right here. I do expect it to come down to this blue line right there and then reverse upward. And then the area to watch is it's off the screen, but it's where support and resistance converge. And that's going to be November of this year. If we do see some tensions around the world ease up, I think this could be prime for some consolidation, maybe some organic resting for this to pull back. But based on history, this thing has just been a rocket ship. So that's all I've got for you guys. Two great ETFs if you're interested in aerospace, space exploration, and defense ETFs. If I had to choose one, I would choose Shield, but I think it's a little too hot for me to touch at the moment. So I would just have this one on my watch list for the moment. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.